Government funding is not going to meet the demands of a growing First Nation, and I think a lot of us right across the country understand that. First Nations really can't meet the demand for housing, employment and training in their home communities, so you're seeing a migration of First Nations people into the cities.
Dennis Meaches, chief of the Long Plain First Nation near Portage La Prairie, is optimistic because a framework is now in place for the economic expansion of the reserve that was created in Winnipeg. The 2.81-acre property is the second of two Manitoba-Ojibwa Long Plain reserves established under the Treaty Land Entitlement Agreement. There are more than 120 urban reserves across the country. However, Long Plain has been characterized as the first truly urban reserve in the city of Winnipeg. As part of the 1994 Long Plain Treaty Land Entitlement Agreement, Canada agreed to add more than 10,000 acres of land to the reserve, allowing the First Nation to begin the creation of a plan to improve the socio-economic conditions for band members.
The Treaty Land Entitlement Settlement allowed for Long Plain First Nation to purchase properties, more specifically the Madison property, which is in the city of Winnipeg, and it's 2.81 acres. When they purchased it, that initiated the process for the additions to reserve, and we set it apart for the use and benefit of Long Plain First Nation.
The Government of Canada, along with Aboriginal Affairs and Northern Development Canada, or Aandc, share a philosophy which offers First Nations economic opportunities to develop and stimulate reserves in urban areas. Since 2006, more than 339,000 hectares have been added to reserves, a 10% increase of the First Nations land base. The additional lands translate to healthier, economically successful, sustainable communities that benefit local and surrounding areas.
The first project on the Madison Reserve was to refurbish and renovate the existing building that was there for Yellow College. And in the Yellow College building, they're not using the full building, so we are leasing it out to other businesses.
The future for economic growth in the community looks promising. The Bend has plans in place for a summer launch of a Suncor Petro-Canada gas station. They are also looking to expand with the construction of an 80,000 square foot, 5-story office complex.
The urban reserves that we have in Winnipeg and Portage represent an opportunity to create economic wealth for the First Nation. But I think it'll benefit everybody. The education opportunities, the employment training opportunities that we can drive through the urban reserves, and people will see it. I don't think Canadians in general should be afraid of what that represents. What it actually represents is getting people off the employment lines, maybe raising the standard of living of First Nations people, creating real partnerships that can work for all people across the country.
For more information on urban reserve expansion, visit Aadnc-aandc.ga.ca.